Hi guys, it's Mrs. Alberts here, and welcome back to my channel.
Okay, continuing with Act 2, Scene 5 to 7. Alright, Scene 5 with FIELA and Kitty and Seling. Kitty is looking through the Bible. She's looking for a specific Bible story for FIELA. FIELA is talking about the story about Solomon and the two women. That's about the information that you get. However, the full story is this. In the book of Kings, King Solomon was known as the wise king. And in King Solomon's reign, two women gave birth to babies. I can't explain to you why these two women were in the same place. Maybe it was a harem, I can't say. The one woman rolled over on her newborn baby and smothered it to death. During the night, she took the dead baby and she swapped it for the other woman who also gave birth at the same time. She swaps the baby with hers. The next morning, when both the mothers wake up, the mother finds that she suddenly has a dead baby with her, but she recognizes that this is not her baby. A fight ensues. Obviously, this is now a he said, she said type of situation. It's one's word against the others. Because the other mother who killed her baby is now just flat out saying, no, that's your son, this is my son, and so forth. So they take this matter to the king. And the king then says something very odd. He says, after hearing both their sides of the story, he says, fine, the baby that is living, let's cut this baby in half so that each mother can have a piece. And the real mother then suddenly objects and she says, no, let the other mother take this boy. The reason for that is the real mother would have reacted first because she loves the boy, it is her son. And that is how King Solomon knew who the real mother was. Now, why this story? You see, FIELA feels like there was a King Solomon in this story. She sees Mr. Goldsberry, the magistrate, as King Solomon, who decided who gets the boy without having both the mothers present. Remember when Lucas was in the front of the magistrate, only the forest woman was allowed to go. So she feels that she was not given a fair chance. Then she asks Seling to give her a clear, clean answer. Does he think that a boy of 3 would be able to walk all the way from Knysna Forest to here? She doesn't want one with a but or a maybe in it. And we know that Seling tries to say but, and she stops him, and at the end the answer is no. Then FIELA walks again. So this is the second time she walks for 4 days, remember, because it's there and back. She walks to the magistrate. She is exceptionally angry. She bangs at the door. Nobody opens. And then she walks in, not knowing who she is speaking with. Remember, the first time she spoke to a cleaner and a constable, she never met the magistrate. So she starts raging against this man about seeing Solomon. She wants to see the man who held himself to be Solomon, who decided who gets the child. He says, I don't think you know who you are speaking to. She continues. She wants to know why only one mother was not invited, but allowed to be at this proceedings. He finally introduces himself as the magistrate. She changes her tone quite quickly and tries to be very respectful. However, I think at this point, Mr. Goldsberry has already decided that this woman is a nuisance. I think he had it in his mind earlier even. I won't say it's FIELA's fault that he was so snappy with her. Remember, he's the authority, he's white, here comes this colored woman and she is challenging him. But she wants to ask him one thing, to just ask the woman from the forest to say what the child was wearing when he went missing. It sounds like a silly thing, but when your child goes missing, it's the first thing they ask. What was he wearing? What was she wearing? And that's what she wants to know. Then she also wants to tell them what the boy was wearing when she found him. And that way they can say, which one is lying. So she's trying to find a fair way to say that the forest woman is not the real mother. But the magistrate gets very angry and upset, and he finally warns her that he will be watching her, and if she takes any steps to try and make contact with Benjamin, with Lucas, then he will have her arrested. We have a sad scene where she is begging him to just at least tell her where the boy is, and that is when he warns her if she sets foot near the boy, then she will be arrested. In scene 7, we're at the forest, and the forest ranger wants to know how Lucas is doing. Elias lies here. He says that Lucas has adapted well, and he is playing with his sister in the forest. And then he spoke about the people in the Lange Kloof a little bit. That's Bartha saying that in the beginning, but then later on he stopped. We can see a little bit of tension between Elias and Bartha when she mentions the Lange Kloof discussion. It seems like Elias didn't even want the forest ranger to know that Lucas was thinking about them. He wants to have this facade where Lucas came to them and immediately was so grateful that he was returned to his real family that he had forgotten about Elias and the Lange Kloof. Elias also says that he found out that Lucas can read and write, and therefore he is now teaching Nina. Then the forest ranger wants to know whether they've had any contact with FIELA, because FIELA apparently wanted to find out where Lucas was, and Elias needs to tell them if she tries to make any trouble. The forest ranger then asks again when the children will be coming back, and Elias says, oh no, it will probably only be later because they are playing together. And then the forest ranger is happy that Lucas seems to be content, and he leaves. Lucas and Nina in the forest, they come back from the forest, and immediately Lucas sees stuff that was obviously brought from FIELA. Now, this is a difference between the movie and the book. Here, we never see the encounter between FIELA and Elias. We simply see Lucas coming back from the forest, and he sees the Das Velkomberg, the karos that FIELA made for him, as well as the egg. Elias says that it was some colored woman and a boy, and sad, Lucas then asks, where is my mother? Where is she? And Elias points to Bartha and says, there she is, don't make me get that whip again. So again, he rules the household with fear, and we understand why Lucas doesn't push past him to run to go and find his mother. I think he's so afraid to be beaten to death, and I'm sure Elias would actually beat that boy into a pulp if he needed to. Nina is playing with this beautiful karos that FIELA made, and Lucas grabs it from her and starts crying, sitting in a heap, holding it and crying. A karos is a blanket made from dassie skin, something that that Selung probably made for him.
Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, if you've got any questions, you can follow me on Instagram at Afrikaans Classroom. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos, like and share.